Biden's movable wall is criticized by environmentalists and those who want more border security. AS. OCIATED Press. The Biden administration's plan to build new barriers along the U.S.-Mexico border in South Texas CA. LLS for a movable design that frustrates both environmentalists and advocates of stronger border enforcement. The plans for the nearly 20 miles, 32 kilometers, of new barrier in Starr County were made public in September when the federal government sought public input. The following month, the administration waived 26 federal laws protecting the environment and certain species to speed up the. Below are your comments. This wall design will be easy to get over. In a matter of days they'll figure a way to scale it. And the feds have an easy cop-out. As the article mentioned, as soon as flooding occurs, they'll remove sections of the wall, making the entire stretch useless. They are required to spend the money to build a wall. My guess is once they have met that requirement, Biden will then order them to remove the wall, hence the mobile wall they are building. That low wall is a joke. Even a little kid would be able to climb over it. Open borders. Biden administration is creating more smoke and mirrors to fool the American public before the presidential election. They only pretend like they're doing something about border security. And because their wall isn't there anything Joe can do right. He messes everything up, then tells the public his plan is wonderful. As feeble as Joe is, he could probably get over his idea of a wall. They didn't say how high the wall will be, just much shorter than an 18-foot wall. So I'm guessing it's a step over wall. There is no wall. Next news. Biden and Xi are to meet next week. There is no detail too small to sweat. Associated Press. When President Joe Biden meets Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Wednesday, there will be no such thing as a small detail. Pretty intense, senior administration officials say of navigating delicate protocols. There's probably very detailed planning of the actual choreography of who enters a room where, if air will be pictures taken and all of that, said Bonnie Lin, senior fellow for Asian Security and director of the China Power Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Below are your comments. Wonder what Biden will be giving away this time. Last time they got our gas reserves. Is there going to be fortune cookies? Based on information from a few websites, Xi's net worth is $1.2 billion. On the other hand, Biden's net worth is estimated to be $8 to $10 million. It pays to be an authoritarian. Sasha Obama was 9 and studying Mandarin in grade school when she practiced a few phrases during a 2011 White House welcome ceremony for Chinese President Hu Jintao. When she and her sister, Malia, visited China with their mother, Michelle, on a goodwill tour 3 years later, the Chinese press dubbed Xi and his entourage are insecure, so great care must be taken down to the most minute detail they don't lose face or are slighted, not even in the most trivial way. Those who have wronged so many weaker than themselves are the weakest of all when faced with the representation of freedom and human. Next news. A revenge term. What would another 4 years of Trump look like? The Guardian. Opinion polls show the twice impeached, quadruply indicted ex-president narrowly leading Biden, and experts say it would be a disaster for America. Below are your comments. I think a Trump election will cause a civil war. I think if we get a lot of third or even fourth party candidates, that scenario is almost guaranteed. Trump wants loyalty to him over the Constitution. All the enemies on his hit list betrayed him by showing loyalty to the Constitution. He wants to fire civil employees that he sees as deep state, translated people who have loyalty to the Constitution and country. He has already called for terminat. That is the price to pay to drain the swamp of leeches. All politicians tell you what they are doing for you, but do you ever see any motion being enacted to actually make a start on these programs? I haven't. I refuse to be told what is right and what is wrong by Trump. The more Trump loses, the more he shows himself as unfit. He will joyfully bring his mobs to the voting booth, then take all he can get from them and curse them as well. They don't see Trump for who he is. Next news. Moody's turns negative on U.S. credit rating, draws Washington ire. Reuters. Moody's on Friday lowered its outlook on the U.S. credit rating to negative from stable, citing large fiscal deficits and a decline in debt affordability. A move that drew immediate criticism from President Joe Biden's administration. The move follows a rating downgrade of the sovereign by another ratings agency, Fitch, this year. It came after months of political brinkmanship around the U.S. debt ceiling. Federal spending and political polarization have been a rising concern for investors. Below are your comments. First and foremost, Social Security isn't federal spending, it's the return of money that working people paid into the system over decades. Next, maybe government should work on cleaning up their own performance rather than get mad at the media and financial entities for reporting the facts. Joe did that. Just declare Chapter 13. Next news. How did Democrats win big despite Biden's bad polls? What it means for 2024. USA Today. Democrats' strong off-year elections generated another debate. How much credit does Biden deserve, and should Democrats feel better about 2024? Below are your comments. Mary Trump is a clinical psychologist and Donald Trump's niece. She is lashing out at the media for ignoring Trump's mental lapses. Donald Trump appears to be losing his mind, yet the media is largely ignoring it. Of late, Trump has repeatedly matched world leaders with the wrong countries. Misplace. Biden's feet underplayed. Mary Trump also slammed the Republicans' obsession with President Joe Biden's age, while entirely ignoring his accomplishments and making them seem ordinary or somehow underwhelming. She noted that Biden, in the last 2.5 years of his first term, has created Ove. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.